from a personal perspective. I'm going to take you back to 1996. I'd been out of the Air Force for 2 years, decided to go ahead and start college, declared psychology as my major, and then later psychology and English as a double major. And here's what I saw in psychology. Psychology got caught with its pants down. Psychology was not ready for anonymity. Because we were looking at a world in even with the internet, it was out. Bitches were up on CompuServe, chatting and shit. Bulletin boards were up. Okay, it was happening. The trolling had already started. But we didn't see it coming, not like this. No, we didn't. What we didn't see coming was the anonymity. Because we were looking at a world wherein you're more likely to be exposed for who you are. Anonymity was on the decline. The chances of you not being found out for what you said and did. It was on the decline. And now I think on the internet, it's also about to go on the decline. But for the past 10, 15 years, it has been on the rise. And people are using this to, whatever they call it. Some trolls are going to tell you, look, I just wanted to have fun. I wanted to play some jokes. I get that. That's cool. There's a line, and you know there's a line. Now, different cultures are going to define this line differently. Do you know what's going on in India? You say something in India on like a chat board, like there is no God, you're going to jail. Well, that's not cool with me. I believe in the freedom of speech. So when does the freedom of speech cross over into a threat or trolling or otherwise break a law? Laws are coming out, people. Apocalypse knows this. Arizona is one of the first ones to get busy with this shit. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I got some clips for you. But first, we're going to get into a little bit of defining trolling because there seems to be some confusion about when something goes from provocative opinions into trolling. And usually it comes down to ad hominem. And it gets vicious. Ad hominem is almost a proper term, label. It's almost like calling a murderer someone who didn't abide by the law of not killing others. It really makes it sound passive and innocent. So ad hominem, that's just attacking a character in an argument rather than the argument itself. Trolling starts from ad hominem. Then it gets into some vicious shit. I mean, you're talking about people that just had kids die, people showing up on their Facebook page saying that little fucker deserved to die. And you guys, I know those of you that listen to this show regularly just thought about somebody. You just did. You know you did. I can hear the free association going in your mind. We're going to talk about that person. I'm not going to mention names. I may mention a couple of names during this show. This is not really my interest. But let me tell you what the product of this show is going to be. When this show is over with, those that bother to listen to the whole thing are going to feel exposed. If they are trolls. And it's going to sting. It's going to hurt. And they're going to strike back. I've already prepared for that. But what they don't know yet is they're not going to have much of an argument to stand on. They're just going to feel highlighted. Look at this person. After you listen to this show, you're going to be able to accurately label somebody as a troll, but you're also going to know what's going on in their mind and how incredibly weak they are. Unless they're just the type of person who's picking jokes and having pranks. We got Young Turks is not my favorite channel on YouTube. The dude on there, very obnoxious. But there is a segment that I want to play for you that they did on this very topic that is highly informative and accurate. And they get rather raw with it. And I appreciate that. It just get rid of the, take off the icing. Let's get right to the truth. Let's get down to what's going on here. They did it. They did it. But first, we're going to start off with Apocalypse has 2 new contacts. Okay, why does Skype tell me that, Apocalypse? I don't know. MSNBC is doing a report on internet trolling. Now, I don't play MSNBC clips a lot. You know they're far left. But sometimes they do just accurate news reports. Even Fox does that sometimes. You don't know. You just have to filter through the shit. I mean, that's part of this whole fight that we're in to get to the truth. So let's do this. MSNBC did a report on internet trolling. I think it helps to define not only what's been going on, but also where the laws are leading to. So let's get into this real quick.
Disturbing details on this. Jeff, good morning.
Hey, Matt, good morning. You wonder how mean people can be? Here's your answer. These internet trolls stop at nothing to cause pain, even terrorizing grieving families. In fact, when a beautiful 17-year-old girl died recently, the internet trolls got busy harassing the people who loved her.
She's a soccer star, a lacrosse star, and a best friend to everyone.
Lexi Pilkington was a fun-loving, all-American girl.
My angel. She was a beautiful, beautiful girl. She loved everybody. Everybody loved her.
But last week, Lexi's parents found her, lifeless. After a year of therapy, Lexi hanged herself inside her own bedroom. There was no suicide note, no explanation at all.
When you get killed in a car accident, you have an answer. When you die from disease, you have an answer. We don't have an answer here.
Soon, the cruel underbelly of the internet would light up. Within hours of Lexi's death, just as her family hit rock bottom, graphic images and offensive chatter about Lexi popped up online.
Who died? Some suicidal slut?
Hey guys, how's it hanging?
The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. This is how it is to die. You end up looking like apple pie.
And it gets worse. Many messages we can't share. It's called trolling. Internet trolls post outrageous comments on message boards, trolling for reaction.
And then they said, no, the soccer team made some cuts and they left a poor girl hanging.
Lexi's friends saw the posts. Now they're banding together to fight internet trolling.
They're just sick in the head and they have no hearts. We're still hurting. And it's not going to go away for a while, and this is just adding to the fire.
There have been high-profile cases before. Back in 2006, one of the most vicious cases of trolling. 18-year-old Nikki Katsouris took her father's Porsche out for a joyride. She hit high speeds and crashed into a toll plaza. Police pictures of her mutilated body were leaked and posted all over the internet. Images so graphic we can't even show you. Internet trolls even emailed the photos to her grieving family just to hurt them.
Crazy stuff.
We got a lot of messages like, you deserve that.
Right.
You rich, you know what, you deserve that, and she deserved it.
No one is off limits. In fact, the more vulnerable you are, the more of a target you become, dead or alive.
Trolling is definitely a dark side of the net, and it's becoming more widespread because with the more forums there are available for people to post these things anonymously, the more brazen people are becoming.
Just this week, another tragic case. Prosecutors say teenagers in Massachusetts bullied 15-year-old Phoebe Prince so much she killed herself. Even after her suicide, her bullies wouldn't stop posting nasty messages on her Facebook memorial page. Internet trolls did the same thing on Lexi's page.
If we can save one kid, one family, one community from feeling the way we feel, it's one victory.
She's a smiling, beautiful child. Look at that. Don't look at the negative.
You wonder what kind of people would do this. This morning, police are investigating, but there isn't, Matt, much they can do. The trolls are sometimes overseas using fake names, so it's tough to even find them.
All right, Jeff Rawson. Jeff, thank you very much. Perry Aftab is an internet safety expert and the executive director of WiredSafety.org. Perry, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt.
Reprehensible, repulsive, fill in the blank with your own adjective here, but it's not illegal, is it?
Well, it may be illegal, but what we're seeing here isn't. These people are just trying to provoke a reaction, and they're trying to harass people, but not across the legal line.
Jeff said that this has been going on for at least for a few years. Is it, though, increasing in frequency because of the explosion in social networking?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been going on since the web was launched, but it is increasing because you have the real quick reaction times. You might be on a cell phone and you can post something nasty on Facebook. You're there, you're bored, it's in the middle of the night, so you're going to do something that's going to get you some attention.
I want to make sure I understand this. In the case of Lexi Pilkington, the young lady who committed suicide, are these comments being posted, in your opinion, by people who actually knew her? Or are there people elsewhere in the country and around the world who simply peruse the headlines and then make some connection with a tragic story?
Probably both. Cyberbullying is when you know somebody, and then you'll see some personal facts about her, not just comments about it's good that you died and you're a slut. So something that's personal to her. If it's just a horrible comment about good they died, one less person to worry about, you're too rich anyway, that is trolling or mobbing, and we're seeing a lot of situations where people are doing it just because they can.
Law enforcement officials around the country are cracking down on cyberbullying. We've seen that just recently. And I guess this would in some ways fit in because the whole purpose here is to inflict some kind of emotional pain on an individual. So can they bend the rules a little bit and include this in that category?
Good point. Actually, there's a federal law that came out about 4 years ago that says if you harass somebody anonymously with an intent to annoy, it's now a felony. And although
If you harass someone anonymously with an intent to annoy, that's a felony. Now, I'll be honest with you folks. I'm kind of into the First Amendment. I think that might be a little... Are we looking at the pendulum having swung so far to the right that now it's going to come crashing back to the left? That's possible. You generally see when new laws come out to combat something, they overreact. You can annoy me. It should be legal. It should be allowed. There's a difference between that and constant harassment, physical threats, threats about people's family, saying shit about someone that's dead, someone just lost a kid, and you're going, that little fucker got what they deserved. Are you fucking serious? There has to be a line somewhere. Now, none of the people in the chat room and myself will be agreeing on where that line should be. It is very much a preference. But I think we can agree that there's an area where it should be. There's an extreme on one end, an extreme on another, and then there's a center area. Somewhere in there that line should be. That line is just getting put into place, just getting it. And there are people that are leaping over that line. Now, after this, I'm going to take you to the extreme left on this pendulum that I just mentioned. And this is the law getting a little too crazy right after this MSNBC report finishes. And then we'll go the other way and see what's being allowed and why. And I got an MMA fighter you're going to hear from about trolling. He looks at it the same way I do. I will fuck somebody up in person, but I don't stalk. You got to come here to get your ass whooping. We don't do delivery. It's pickup only. But there is no extra charge. You don't have to leave a tip. But you can get your ass whooping. You just have to show up. That's the way I've always handled it. That's the way I'm always going to handle it. Let's finish this first. MSNBC report on trolling.
Indicated there's an IP address, the cyber trail of breadcrumbs. Facebook collects it anytime you interact with their site. So do all the others. If law enforcement wants it, they're going to be able to find it.
You've been working with Facebook, and what exactly are you trying to do? I don't know that you're going to be able to prevent this except by threatening things like you just talked about.
Well, you've got to educate people. You need to let parents know that if, God forbid, somebody dies in their family, somebody needs to lock down their Facebook page and turn it into a memorial page. You've got to Google your kids' facts so you always know where they are while they're alive. Hopefully always. You need to make sure that you've got a kid around who can monitor these kinds of pages. You need to stay on top of it. Get your kid's password. We always say that. Get it, put it in an envelope, don't look at it, sign across it. If you're in control, you can protect your kids, whether they're alive or after their death.
It's unbelievable we even have to talk about this. It really is.
And so many times, Matt, and it really comes back to what Facebook is on this. They're spending a lot of time on the memorial pages. They're monitoring these, and they intend to do what they can, both on the education and enforcement side.
Perry, thanks very much.
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kierstead.
Welcome back to SourceFed. I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
And I'm standing directly to the left of her.
And he's also Joe Beretta. What would you say if I said we have the potential to end trolling for good? You might say, hallelujah, finally a comment section full of insight and wit and constructive comments to inspire us all.
You might also say tits or GTFO or STFU, you blank, with the blank being some form of intense racism, sexism, or other form of hate language.
Whatever your opinion on internet trolling, you should know that in Indonesia, a country normally very liberal in its media laws, it's officially illegal to be a jerk online. And while this sounds amazing, it's not.
Under the 2008 Law on Information and Electronic Transactions, people can actually be put in jail for insulting others online. Well-intentioned in theory, not well-intentioned in that it's being used as a way to imprison anyone speaking out against the norm, aka you can kiss your freedom of the type, speak, bye-bye.
Things people have been arrested for saying so far in Indonesia include the police are corrupt, you're stupid, you're gay, and there is no God.
Holy crap, everyone's arrested. The whole internet, there's no one left.
And if there's no one left, who's gonna watch our videos? If a SourceFed video is posted and there's no one there to watch it, does it make a sound? We're not even real, Joe!
But the situation gets even scarier than that. Not Trisha's meta situation. The situation in Indonesia has gone so far that an extremist group, the Islamic Defenders Front, called for the execution of a group of students for holding a seminar entitled God is Rotten, Reconstruction of Fundamentalism to Create a Cosmopolitan Islam.
Now, while I'm the first to say I would love to see rude, mean, and hateful people get their comeuppance, both on the internet and in daily interaction, I'm not sure that jailing or execution is the right way to go about it. Not to mention, question, who's in charge of deciding what is a jailable offense and how do we keep the system for deciding